What is up, everybody out there on the internet? This is Geeky Gamer here, bringing you another tutorial on CCNA certification, and this tutorial will be talking about inter-VLAN connectivity. So to start off, we have two methods of establishing an inter-VLAN connectivity. The first one is by using two cables, and that isn't conventional and not so commonly used. The other one is a method known as router on a stick, wherein you use only one cable. So I'm going to start off with the unconventional method, which is the two cable method. So as far as this topology is concerned, or randomly kept devices, as you could preferably call it, I haven't configured anything in terms of network, but for convenience, here and there. So I'm going to connect switch port 1 to fast Ethernet 6.0 of the router, and switch port 24, which is the last port, to fast Ethernet 7.0 of the router. And if you ask me why I'm doing this, it's just for convenience sake. I mean, just so I have a track of what I'm doing, right? So the first half of the switch ports will be assigned to the first VLAN, and the second half will be assigned to the second VLAN. So since the first VLAN is by default created and the switch ports are lying there, all I have to do is just create a second VLAN and assign the other half of these switch ports to the second VLAN. So for convenience again, I am going to put the first computer to the first half side of the VLAN. Same applies for the second PC, and this one in the last half of the VLAN. So now that the topology is all connected and stuff, I am going to the router, right? So why do I have to start off with a router? Because you have to do it with a layer 3 device, be it a switch or a router. So you do it with a layer 2 switch, there's no chance. I mean, you need to jump off one layer and then come back the other layer. It's like going from door to door. You have a wall, but you just can't go through it. So this router acts like a doorway from the first half of the VLAN to the second half of the VLAN. First half, second half. Right. So in order to do that, I am going to switch on both the interfaces, by chance they are. Go to my global config mode, go to my specific config mode, phase 6.0, assign it an IP address because I want the PCs to communicate with each other from different VLANs so they know which destination they're sending to and which source they're receiving it from. I'm going to assign F60 an IP address of 192.168.1.1 with a subnet mask of /24. Good. Didn't have to do that. Set up. And go to my other interface, that is F70, and assign it the same IP address except that the network will be 2. Give it a do right. Now that that is all set up, I'm going to go to my switch and set up VLAN 2. As I said, you don't even have to configure VLAN 1 as it's by default configured there. So I'm going to go to my switch, and already in my switch, and go to the global config mode, say config T or configure terminal as whatever you want to call it, and type in VLAN and VLAN name, give it VLAN 2 for convenience sake, and give it a name, say VLAN 2, again convenience sake, and go to my interface range, FA 0/13 to 24. That is my last half of the VLAN. That is going to be accessed, that is going to access VLAN 2. So say switch port access VLAN 2. Simple way to remember this, switch port, the switch ports, the ports that you have interfaced with, those switch ports should access VLAN 2. So that's fine. I'm going to do right, and this is F60. So to show IP interface brief, 1.1. So go to this PC, that is my first VLAN's PC. The configuration 168.1.2. Make it 3. And that is done. Desktop IP address 1.5. 1.1. That is done. Go to my VLAN 2 PCs, set that this will be 2.1, say 2.3, and this one will be 2.5. So you don't have to configure anything as of now. It's just type in ping 192.168.1.1.1. That is from the router. Now if I need to go ping the PC 1.3, there you have it, pings. So now that the unconventional is done, I am going to show you the router on a stick method. So for that, I will have to go to both the interfaces, FA, or forget it, I'm going to use a different interface. I'm going to connect this to 1.0. I haven't configured anything on fast Ethernet 1.0 yet, and connect it to 0/13. Right. Yeah. So to bring it up, I need to interface into FA 1.0. Say no shut. I'm typing. So in the previous method, you really didn't have to do anything except create a VLAN and assign IP addresses to the router ports, right? So here what you have to do is you shouldn't assign an IP address to the physical interface. So on the router on a stick method, what usually happens is that one port is actually divided or virtually segmented into different virtual ports, and those virtual ports are given IP addresses, right? So to do that, all what you have to do is interface FA, whatever interface your switch is connected to the router, and say 1/0.1. Trust me, 0 will not work because that's invalid. That's not set. It's not set as a virtual port, valid virtual port. And I'm going now this is where you assign an IP address. Oh, and before doing that, you need to encapsulate it with a protocol called .1q. Well, that's an IEEE standard for making router ports VLAN communicative standard compliant. Not sure how you say that, but for the router to act as a medium between VLANs, you actually need the .1q encapsulation, which is set by the IEEE, and that is followed by every other networking firms out there, right? So here you need to type in encapsulation .1q and the VLAN name, right? So I say VLAN 1. So this interface, that is this sub interface, will allow the first VLAN packets to go through that interface, right? And that is when you can assign an IP address. So 192.168.1.1 and say 255.255.0. Right. Forgot about that. Let me go and delete the IP addresses. Okay, that is done. Yeah, 1.1. Now, the first sub-interface is done. To get into the second sub-interface, pretty much the same. Just that you have to give it a different name. I mean, no. 2.1, right? Encapsulation .1q 2. That is encapsulation .1q. Let VLAN 2 packets flow through this sub-interface, and then give it an IP address, 2WR. So, now that that is out of the way, let's just test it out if it actually pings that IP address. I mean, the machine, the host, or whatever you want to call it. 1, 2. So the third time it happens, there is something definitely wrong. What is that? That is the switch. So on a side note, you actually have to change the mode of your switch port, that is the port that is connected to the router port that is divided into sub interfaces. That connected port should be changed to a trunk mode, right? Because that is something that is the mode that lets VLANs flow through other cables. Through the devices or the machines or whatever you want to call it. So interface 0/13. F8 0/13, and say switch port mode trunk. Now let's see if it actually pings. It'll come up. 1.3. 1. There you go. So that's it about inter-VLAN connectivity. Thanks for watching.